This was a long day of travel. After getting a ride to Portland, I flew to Minneapolis, then Amsterdam, then Glasgow, where I spent the night. The next day, I took the train to Stranraer, where I'd be starting the trip. After the long flight across the Atlantic, I found a good place serving waffles in the Amsterdam airport. All right, I'm in Glasgow. The long day of travel is over via Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Amsterdam. And it is now Thursday late afternoon, having left on Wednesday late afternoon. So what I'm trying to do now is figure out where my hotel is. They have the typical airport offerings. So I'm in a Travelodge, which is under that highway up there, and I'm not sure how I get there because there don't appear to be sidewalks. Let's see if I can figure this out. Well, perhaps I should have researched hotel location a little bit better. There's not a real good walking route to get to this thing because I have to go across that motorway. And back there at that roundabout, there was no sidewalk anywhere. So I have to go down to this Holiday Inn up here, around it, under the motorway, and then double back to get to my hotel, which is right over there on the other side. But at least it's raining. Welcome to Scotland, y'all. It's always an adventure. That, my friends, is the face of a very weary traveler. Want to fall asleep but can't, so we'll wait for that a little bit. And this Travelodge, like every Travelodge worldwide, is nothing but the lap of luxury. Not sure what that little bit is for. But yeah, it does the trick. And I think I'm going to go investigate what is called the Bar Cafe and see what's going on there. Every burger I had in Scotland had the exact same format. A stick through the burger, chips in a cup, a little thing of coleslaw, and a tiny thing of ketchup. Okay, it's the morning of, what day is today? Friday, and I think it's the 19th, and I have left my modest but perfectly competent accommodations at the Travelodge and am walking to the nearby town of Paisley, which is about a 25-minute walk. I didn't want to pay for a taxi or go for a bus for something that short. That seems silly. We'll see if I regret that if it starts raining. It rained pretty hard last night, and right now it is not. And if I'm lucky, it will remain not until I get to Paisley. What I'm doing once I get there is hopping on a train south to Stranraer on the western Scottish coast, which is where I'll be spending the next 2 nights as I get ready to start the trip. So onward to the train through the unassuming airport adjacent environs of Glasgow. Waiting in Paisley Gilmore Street Station for the train to Stranraer. Scottish golf courses on the sea. I arrived in Stranraer too early to check into my hotel, so I figured going to a pub and finding a Guinness and some fish and chips was a good way to start my adventure. Okay, I've reached my home for the next 2 nights, the Royal Hotel in Stranraer, right in the middle of town. Has a bar on the bottom floor, a restaurant on the middle floor, and rooms up on the top floor. There's apparently a beer garden in back, but I'm guessing that's not going to be heavily used tonight. This is just lovely. Definitely an improvement over the Travelodge from last night. Views off into the distance. So here's the game plan. I'm here. I I don't have any immediate needs right now other than to do a little shopping. So I've made a reservation for dinner here tonight. That's one unusual thing about Great Britain in general, I would say, especially in smaller towns. If you want to go to a restaurant, you don't just show up. You need to make a reservation because a lot of them are pretty small and they can only take so many people. And if you don't do that, you don't get in and you don't eat. And they have a restaurant here in the hotel, which is supposed to be quite nice, actually. So I made a reservation for that for 7:45. And until then, it's now 2:30. Until then, I have to go find a place called the Sports Shop where I can buy some stove fuel, because you can't fly over with stove fuel canisters. And then I need to go to Morrison's, which is a grocery store, and get food supply to start off the trail. I think I need 2 or 2.5 days until my next chance to resupply. But first I'm going to take a deep breath because it's been a long 2 days getting here. My dinner that night was pretty delightful, including a starter of haggis bonbons and sticky toffee pudding for dessert.